Oh shit, here we go again.
Bitch, are you jealous?
Oh shit, here we go again.
What up? It's your man, I Make Mad Beats, live from outer space. This is Type Beat, another producer podcast. And behind me are my guests.
Check. LJ1S, what's up?
Unique, period.
Indeed. Now, we're going to start this off right, actually. You know what I'm saying? Hold on a second, bro. Before we go any further into this, let me just say this, man. if you don't already have the Unapologetic World app, I don't understand what's going on, bro.
Period. It's free.
Because you tapped in, it's free. You know what I'm saying? You can get a whole bunch of what you're watching and a lot more.
What the fuck?
All right, it's available for iOS and Android devices, and it's free. So go ahead and tap in and go ahead and get that, man. Just do a search for Unapologetic World, and you'll find us. It's developed by a unique guy named James Dukes. He's a crazy guy. But with that being said, another episode of Type Beat, the producer podcast, Type Beast. You know what I'm saying? The producer podcast. We're here to talk about all things producer, all things engineer, all things music, whatever the fuck we want to talk about, to be quite frank with y'all. LJ, what we got today for topics, bro?
All right, so we're talking about building your brand. You know, a lot of people are feeling the way about the payouts of these streaming services. So we're gonna talk about that. The mindset when approaching different genres of music. You know, how would you mix them? How would you write for them? And the rules of sampling. There are many rules.
Are there?
Are they?
Are there any?
The rules of sampling. But man, let's just kick it off with the brand. Like, build in order to deal with these or so you don't have to deal with the payouts of these streaming services. So I think it was earlier this week, Metro posted that like his next album will probably be the last album that he posts on DSPs because of the payout situation. And I think that's cool if you have the brand to do it, because now it's like these DSPs are essentially like,
Yeah, they're like the holy mecca where everybody listens to music. Yeah,
everybody.
And for free.
Well, I won't say for free.
Unfortunately.
I won't say for free because you definitely got to pay Apple and whoever else.
Well, free version of Spotify though.
Yeah, there's a free
crazy.
version of Spotify, free version of YouTube Music, and Pandora. Yep.
Damn.
Yep. So people can literally just stream your music and not have to pay a thing. And that's why Metro, where he's coming from, on taking it down, because like these streaming services are only paying you like up to 5 cents per song. If
I don't even think it's that, is it? I think per stream, it
ain't even that. But I was just trying to
just so look.
I was trying to juice it up a little bit. But y'all know what I mean.
Yeah, I think they've made a change.
They ain't make no damn change. They ain't gonna make no change. We ain't making no change. That's why we having these conversations. But yeah, like DSPs, that's why I respect things like Bandcamp and stuff like that. Like all of these sites that are really gearing it towards artists, to where artists get most of what they're putting out. They're not getting in what they put out. People put out albums after albums after albums, singles after singles after singles on these DSPs. And what are they really seeing? Man. YouTube will only give you, what is it? I think it's like $5,000 per million streams. Like what the fuck?
That's crazy.
Like we putting in all that extra work, putting in all them extra manpower hours just to only get 5,000 for a million. And then not even to say that, people are in the hundreds of millions. And you can just imagine, and then they got to chop off for Uncle Sam and them, chop off for the company, chop off. They're really not seeing nothing.
Yeah. It's pros and cons to it, but as far as the payout though, once I seen how much when Pharrell spoke about it, how much he got paid for Happy, and as big of a song that was, like that was crazy. Yeah. But I'm just thinking for the up and coming artists, if you're trying to get heard, trying to get seen and stuff like that, like the streaming platforms is your friend.
But then at the same time, that also makes people lazy too. Because nobody wants to get out and do that footwork anymore. Everybody wants to sit at home and then click buttons and share. True enough, that's the way things are, pretty much going. But like that's where I think people like Chance the Rapper and all these other people like that, who are still Tyler the Creator, is still like making their marks, because they're using like these like band camps and stuff like that, but really getting out there and doing the footwork too. They're not just sitting at home. Or waiting for someone that they hired to do it. You know what I'm saying?
It was, I can't think of the artist, but he spoke on like it was similar when he was talking about like people owning their masters and stuff. And it's like, you know, it's cool, yeah, own your masters and everything. Like, oh, that's great, but to own it for what if you don't have the eye on you? Like, so even if you posting all your music on Bandcamp and stuff like that, if you don't have the following, it's not going to convert. You're just going to have a bunch of albums on Bandcamp. They're just sitting there.
But then again, you never know who's traveling through Bandcamp just looking for those songs that are just sitting there.
I mean, that's true, but do you really want to like go about your career wondering who could possibly come across your shit, you know?
Depends on what you want for your career.
I think that there has been a dynamic shift, obviously. Like, there's been a real shift in how, you know, meaning like, it used to be hard to make the music, and then once you made it, like, you know, it was simple. You get on the road, or you knock on a DJ's door. Like, there were very clear and obvious gatekeepers / curators of like, if you get past this level, you're in a place, you're in a position that nobody else is in, right? But it costs thousands of dollars to make the stuff. You have to go to the studio, blah 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? And now, right, like the dynamics have shifted. I think some things have gotten better and some things have gotten worse. So the obvious dynamics are, it's a lot easier now to make this stuff. It's so much easier that you got like the CEO of Spotify saying that it costs nothing to create quote unquote content, right? And that's where, you know, things get interesting. But it's easy to create the stuff. It's easy to market the stuff. But now, because it's easy to market the stuff, it's hard to market the stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's like now, because everybody has access, it's, you know, it's eerily similar to mixing in stereo. Like, if too many things are stereo, then what the fuck is stereo?
Yeah, exactly. It becomes,
and that's kind of what's happening here. And so what you're looking for is clear and obvious ways to cut through, right? Because at the end of the day, if you cut through with marketing, all of this stuff about how much you get paid for streaming don't really matter. Right? Like, I mean, because that's when you get shows. That's when you get brand deals. That's when you can sell merchandise. You sell things that cost way more than an album ever did. You know what I'm saying? But it is about that cut-through part. And during that cut-through part, you're not going to make anything. You might make $10, you know what I'm saying, after the whole country.
Right, exactly.
Played album a million times, you know what I'm saying? And that's the frustrating part. But, you know, then you have people saying things like, all right, cool, well, let's just hop over to Bandcamp, you know what I'm saying? You know, but to be quite honest, like, we're in an era where people are exploring probably less than they ever have, ever. You know, like, human beings are just going to what is familiar and comfortable. Like, the exploration, like, function of humanity is, like, dying, right? So much to, like, you know, 15 years ago, you know, if somebody said, yo, you can get something for free by clicking on something, people would have jumped at it. Now to get somebody to click off their platform is like damn near impossible.
Asking them to jump off
you have to be one of them ones.
Literally.
Like, to get somebody to go somewhere else is hard. Because that's what you're doing. Every time you promote something that you're like, hey, I'm going to try to promote this to get somebody to buy into me in a way that I can actually quantify. You're trying to get them to click off of Spotify, off of YouTube, off of Apple Music, because in those spaces, you don't have none of the information. You don't have no connection to who is actually interested in you. And to actually build a connection, you got to get those people off those platforms and somewhere where you can actually have that discussion.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. And that is harder to do now than it's ever been. You know, that's the trick. Because if you can pull that off, you know, and so and there's ways to pull that off, but it's how dedicated are you to it, because it's going to take time. I saw something years ago where it was like somebody has to see something 7 times before it's ever even acknowledged. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what you got to do is you gotta be okay with passing out flyers, knowing they're gonna end up on the ground 7 to 10 to 15 times before somebody's finally like, all right, what is this?
They have to keep seeing you. Gotta stay in their face.
That's right.
And people will swear up and down that the more genius or the better you are at something. No. Some of the greatest artists of all time had to go through these same measurements. You know what I'm saying? It's because, like, the greatness of your art will never defeat, like, the attention span of mankind.
Yeah.
Ain't that crazy, yo?
Like, that's what you're battling, the attention span of mankind.
Which is getting
There ain't no you playing the
smaller and
guitar
smaller.
so well that you don't have to deal with those consequences. Like
Nope.
that's not the case. You know what I'm saying? And so you just got to be willing to do that. And I hate that you got to do that. I'm not. When I say that, I think when I see people on the internet say like, "Yo, man, you got to put in your work. You got to get on your grind and all this other shit." I think people mistake those people as like liking to do that.
Man, yeah. Because none of us do.
Yeah.
None of us do.
Yeah.
People be like, "Yo, I want to lift up something that's 300 pounds." These people don't like
At all.
not eating
Yeah, let me
fried
go to
chicken and
Yeah.
Hey, what?
But they're
Period.
dedicated to the results. They said they want to.
That's it.
And period.
That's it.
You
That's
know,
it.
and so I think like a lot of the sentiment, while I agree with, man, why the fuck are we getting paid 17 cents after 7 trillion streams? You know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
While I agree with that sentiment, I thoroughly do. A lot of the complaining that I see on the internet is simply because this is not microwave.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like the one thing that I love about or that I appreciate about people who are in physical shape is that you can't get in physical shape the night before.
Yeah.
You got to put the work
Yeah.
in. You got to put the
You
work
can't.
in.
That's right.
There's no faking being in shape.
That's right.
Like you actually have to do the work. You can't do push-ups the night before and all of a sudden show up like that's right. I've been
Right.
lifting for years. No,
Right.
nigga, that's
Right.
impossible.
And I think that's the problem with the social media like game now, because like you look at TikTok, you will post a song and however TikTok works and decide where they want to place you, that song can blow up. And now you have thousands to millions of people commenting and liking your, and it gives you a thing like, oh, this is easy, or for the artist that's trying and it's not happening, they be like, bro, what the fuck, because again, I am not a fan of the social media content and stuff, but I understand this is the game now, and I understand like if you're really trying to get out there, whatever, like this just part of it. And I had to like start looking at it differently. Like social media, the content that is your marketing now. That's your marketing. Those are your commercials.
I think the thing,
Yeah,
I think the
that
thing
is.
that like, again, I'm going to be clear about something in case you people out there don't hear me. I hate all of this.
Yeah.
Like, I have no bone in my body that's like, yay, let's go on social media
Bro.
and post something for the millionth time. I hate it. You know what I'm saying? And at the same time, bro, what version of a music career would be void of marketing?
Yeah.
Nah, facts.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like, do you really think? And this, again, it's entitlement, it's laziness.
Yeah.
I hate doing this. I
Yeah.
do. I hate it.
But
But what version of your career are you just gonna make the music?
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and in today's time, this is sadly the way you market it. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yep.
In previous times, there were other times that would have cost you $1 million more.
Man,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Now you
Right.
can do it for
Yourself.
free, and it's harder, right? But this is how it's done. There is no version of this career without marketing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of marketing, whether it was in the 90s or now, that first 40% of it is not sexy, bro. It's not sexy. Who was it? It was Sheena who was telling me that, like, Destiny's Child performed in Walmart.
Yeah. Yeah.
Destiny's Child,
Yep.
Beyonce,
Yep.
performed in Walmart. And y'all out here don't want to post your song 3 times.
Yep.
Walmart.
Facts. Yeah. Yeah.
What we talking about?
Yeah.
I guarantee you, if they was like, "Yo, can we do a show in Walmart or post something on the internet?" If that existed at the time,
They definitely
if
would've
social
just-
media existed at the time, they would have chose to post on social media.
Yeah. Nah,
You know
true.
what I'm saying?
That's real. That's real. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
But no, that's a real thing. And I think again, like then you have people you can pay, and of course you can still pay people now, but like it's accessible. Like you can do it yourself. It just take the time and the effort. And I think the people that like, for me, I don't like, especially okay. So being that we are a storytelling label, we're very honest and vulnerable with our approach with things. Like a lot of the stuff that I share, I don't necessarily want to talk about. I don't want to share that shit. Like because it's very personal to me. Sometimes it brings up different traumas that I'm like, I left that alone. I don't want to deal with it.
I promise I don't like talking
But
about my
I'm learning and understanding, like, the more people can see you and know your story and hear about you, like, that builds the brand, and that it eventually converts over to what you do if you're genuine with it.
Yeah. It's so crazy, like, how people... That's one thing that I used to love about social media not being around. Like, people used to could like go about their everyday lives and you not know if they use tissue to wipe their ass or not. And all you heard was the work.
Bro.
I mean, hey, you know, some dirty niggas out there, but I'm just saying, like you could hear nothing but their work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Nothing but their creativity. You wouldn't know that they were down bad or something like that. Like the video you showed me, Mad, of I wonder if it was Doom or Madlib that stayed in that apartment. Not even bigger than a fucking closet. You never would have known that had he not been on Cribs that time. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever show that was that exploited how he was living. All you heard was the greatness in his music. And I think like social media has made it a thing to, we have to see how you living, or we don't fuck with you.
But I think that's more so the artist versus the consumer. Like, I feel like the artists, we love the fact that, I can just listen, I can discover an artist by their music or their art. Versus now, like, the consumers, that's how we're talking about super fans. Like, that's kind of what we want, in the sense of like trying to get people to leave their platforms to come listen to you. Like, you have to create those super fans, and nowadays getting those super fans require you to show parts of you that you wouldn't necessarily show the world, because they can relate. Like, it's more than just the music now. Like, you gotta think about it. We have, I forgot what year it was, but like Taylor Swift was going crazy. She was just dropping like free music.
Yeah.
And as an up and coming artist, like, how do you compete with that? Like, so you have to find other ways to separate yourself from the crowd, and a lot of times that means you being you, right. talking about who you are, talking about your story, the path that you have to take to get to where you are, and the things that you're growing to and going through. And of course, as an artist, I don't think we really care for it, because we wish it was just like, yeah, I make dope music. You can hear about my life in my music, because that's what we put our that's what we put our emotions. But it's a different day and age, man. It's a different game.
Yeah, it's different. I guess, like, even with super fans, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, even when you let them tap into your life and give them, you know what I'm saying, what they feel like they need from you, it still ain't enough. Niggas still gotta go harder and harder, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, I don't know.
Well, what is enough? Like, what? So tell me when you say that it's not enough. Like what is the threshold of, all right, this is enough? You know what I'm saying?
Nigga showing them at my front doorstep. No, I'm just playing. But I don't know. Like, well, I guess when I say that, it's like, okay, we give you this story, we give you our life story, we give you this, we give you that. You know what I'm saying? We give the people what we want, what they want. But then they'll take that and throw it right back at us and be like, oh, this person is like this person is like that. But this is what you ask from us, you know what I'm saying, as an artist. Culture. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, people will ask, okay, we want to see into this artist's life. You know what I'm saying? Like R. Kelly, for example. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we just gonna take it there. You know what I'm saying? One of the greatest artists to ever touch a fucking...
I'm not co-signing nothing.
I'm just saying, trapped in the closet had niggas trapped in they car. And
Juneteenth, I was emancipated. You feel me? Nah, I've never.
I get what you said. Though. I get what.
Period. Like, for real, like, this nigga's personal life was fucked up. But like,
oh, that's funny.
It's like, he gave the people what they asked for. Like, you know what I'm saying? He probably ain't mean to like get exposed like he did, but hey, that's what comes with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's like the world took him as a flawed human being and turned it against him when they asked for him to be vulnerable in the first place.
I don't think that's the. I feel
Yeah, that's not the wrong.
that dude is a criminal. And
No, he is all the way around. He is.
I don't think he's throwing
No.
I think he should be in jail.
Yeah, right. That's what it is.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm gonna clear that up for the good folks out there. And I'm gonna speak to everybody.
Listen.
Oh, everybody calm down. Look, no, this is CEO moment right now. Unapologetic. We hate what this man did. We got no love for the criminal that is the criminal elements of R. Kelly. We don't be playing none of his music. That's I think the point you're trying right? I think the point you're trying to let me know. I could be wrong, you know what I'm saying? But I think the point you're trying to make is just that, like, you know, at some point it does feel performative of
Yeah.
showing your vulnerability to get someone's attention. And when the tides turn, they can use that against you and make you and be unforgiving
Very.
for the vulnerability that you have expressed. Would you feel like that is okay? All right. Let's leave R. Kelly out of all of these examples.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, no, because I just think about, like, even now, you know, being, especially Memphis, they'll check your ass for showing up to school on time. So, like,
Man.
you could be a great person, they'll still find a
On-time
way.
ass nigga.
Right, they'll still find a
You
way.
on the
So,
clock, ain't it?
this cancel culture thing is real. Just because someone
Yeah.
feel away, they definitely will twist.
Real quick, shout out everybody watching. We got a
Period.
variety of
Let's get it.
people on IG, to Twitch, to YouTube, to Twitter, aka X. Shout out everybody. You know what I'm saying? Bounce God said, "Yeah, I feel you, unique, but I don't."
Yeah, that was wild.
Big shout out. We got Nubia in the chat. Nubia, what's up, man?
Period.
Feel free to present us with one of your intriguing.
Hey, Nuba, she
interesting ideas.
gotta come on the podcast. Man.
Yeah, man.
Facts.
What's up? She is producing an album. You feel me?
You know, that's what I'm
Facts.
saying. Let's get it.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, big shout out to everybody in the chat. Go ahead, continue.
Yeah, man. It's I don't know. It's just again, you can't escape it. You can't escape it. If you are an artist in whatever field, like if you want to be seen, if you want the payout, if you want the, like, you have to find a way to get out there. And a lot of times, you being vulnerable, whatever, that brings the brand deals, because these companies, these brands feel like whoever they feel like you represent them in a sense. And that's why I feel like that's why it's so important to speak about who you are, your story and stuff, because now that's the game. Again, it's no longer about just the music. You have to find ways to separate yourself from the typical artist. You have to find ways to allow the consumers, the fans, to know you in a way, because they tend to want to be able to relate to the stuff that they're listening to, they're purchasing. And I think that's one of the biggest things. I was watching like some brand marketing interview or whatever. I forgot the guy's name, but he spoke on like artists. We go about things like, you know, thinking that it's just about the music, it's about the art or whatever. But a lot of times he was saying like how it really works is these companies, these consumers, they buy into your brand if they feel like it's them. They can wear it. They can, you know, it represents who they are as a person. So that's why it's.
It might have been me saying it, bro.
I mean, you're definitely one of them, yeah, for sure. But like, it's important. Again, we hate it, but if you're trying to, you know, change your life or just move the culture, this is part of it. Fortunately, unfortunately, but this is part of it. And again, if you want to bypass the whole DSPs, get your brand up, and you can make those calls.
Yeah.
I think about Ryan Leslie when he first started the what was it, the Superphone or whatever, when, you know, creating the super fans and stuff like that. He found a way to connect with his fans, like one-on-one.
Yeah,
you know, type of deal, versus just being like, yeah, I'm dropping an album. Yeah. Like, he found a way to actually talk to his people and realize that the data of who he's connecting with, the partnership, because that's really what it is. The partnership that you make with your fans is what's really important. Because again, if you're not a super fan, no one's going to care. You make a post, yeah, I'm dropping an album. All right. Especially if you're trying to get them to go away from iTunes or whatever.
I'll say this too, man. Like, this is something that's interesting to me, bro. I always gotta be watching what I'm saying, man.
Me too.
Because y'all are all sensitive as hell. You know what I'm saying? I'm being honest. Y'all know it.
But
Y'all
that's gonna be on the
deny
clip
it. Y'all
later.
sensitive as hell, bro.
I make bad
Trust
beats.
me, man. Like I've witnessed like 70% of my opinions. Like somebody is gonna hit me up like 2 years from now and be like, "Yo, Neem, like, you know, I feel like it's a problem." I'm gonna be like, "What?" Like, yeah, remember when you said that? I'm like, bro, I didn't know you was doing it. People just be,
Yeah.
so I
Yep.
have to watch what I say on social media.
Yeah.
People just be taking shit personal, bro. But nah, man, you know, one of the most interesting things that I be seeing now, just going off of what you just said, LJ,
Yeah.
is like people want to skip that step, right? Like the step of building fans. Like they just want to be able to say, "Yo, I got an album out," and then just random strangers just go and flock to you. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, they just like they don't want to have, you know, if they have 10 likes on a post, they're embarrassed by that shit.
Like, it's crazy.
Like they don't want a post to live until it's got hundreds of likes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I just be tripping off that, like, again, it's that microwave culture. When I
Yeah.
see that, I just be thinking like, oh, you might not be built for this.
Yeah.
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 You might, because I'm just being real. Like, you can't say I mean, not unless you get the faux locks, but like, you can't say I want an afro if you're afraid of the first part of
Right,
growing your hair.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
Like,
Right.
if you can't survive that, maybe you're not built for the afro.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm not trying to hate on them. I'm not trying to say who you are, what you are, but like, nah, if the threat of having something that don't look like a fade or an afro yet affects you emotionally and deeply in a way to where you have high levels of anxiety and you're afraid to leave your house, you might not be built for an afro. Just being honest. You know what I'm saying? And you might look cool. You might be doing a little AI thing, and you might in the picture look like you would look cool with an afro. You might imagine yourself and fantasize yourself with an afro. But if the idea of having that little small thing on your head is so terrifying, maybe you're not ready.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what any building anything is. Literally anything. You know what I'm saying? I think the difference with entertainment, though, and specifically hip hop, as I do, and this is where I want to be intellectually fair and honest. I do think, like, so for example, if you have an open plot of land and you just put up the framework for a house, people are going to salute you as they drive by. They're going to be like, "Oh, that dude's building a house. That's amazing." You know what I'm saying? No doubt. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to love checking back in and seeing the progress of you building that house. I do think, and specifically in hip hop / rap culture, but just in generally in entertainment, when you're building something, you're much more likely to get ridiculed in the building process.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
That's right.
That's the part people are afraid of.
That's right.
Which is
Right. It's just like the haircut thing.
Yeah.
Like you want to grow your hair, you just afraid of what people gonna say when it's not there yet. You know what I'm saying? And so we go back to the beginning of what I said. Y'all are sensitive. Y'all are sensitive. There's something I'm saying right now that's offending you. And you ready to either go off on me on the internet or go and fucking hide. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's it. It's like if you're too sensitive to have the fucked up haircut before you get to the haircut you want, maybe this is not for you. Maybe you need to go get a wig.
Yeah, I think that's interesting, especially like just speaking on hip hop specifically, is like because hip hop was created because niggas was poor. It comes from that. So to be afraid to go through that process of building when like that's the origins of anything, you have to build it. Is wild to really think about. But I think again, it's the attention. It's the attention. It's the seeing everyone else online, saluting other people, then tearing down everyone else because they don't have this. Or it could just be in a black community thing. I don't know. You know, growing up, niggas ain't got shoes or whatever. You getting, checked or whatever the case may be. But you can't skip it. You can't skip it. Like you have to build, man. You have to build.
That's it. I think everybody knows that, man. I mean, especially if if you're a parent, you know that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was talking about that the other day about my son. Like, he's at this part now where he's meeting kids and, he's dealing with, some kids want to hang out with him, some don't. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, nah, you can't hide him from them kids that don't want to hang out with him.
Yeah.
Right.
That's part of it.
He has to feel that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he has to learn how to. Now, the trick is to, when he's feeling that, be there for him.
Right.
Be able to say, "Hey, do you want to talk about this?"
Right.
Right? but he has to know what rejection feels like. You know what I'm saying? Adults who grow up and don't know what rejection, those are the people who they shoot up churches and you know what I'm saying? Like,
That's right. That's right.
That's real.
That's right.
That's real. Yeah. So to get by, to bypass all of the streaming platforms, man, build your brand. Build your brand. Find your super fans, and they'll come to you, or create a platform for them to support you. Especially now with everything being like subscription based. I think who was Kanan Ellis. Kalen Ellis. He was he posted something like he has his own subscription based thing now, like where you can buy into the Discord and all his packs and everything like that. But it's like you have to build. You have to build.
But that's the thing though, bro. It's like, yeah, we got the Unapologetic World app, no doubt. You know what I'm saying? We got to stunting on the game. We got our own app, our own community, all that stuff. But I say all that to say this, like, you don't need all that. Like,
yeah.
And I just wanted to do it my way because I'm a programmer. Like, I can build an app. You know what I'm saying? But, like, there are, like, surefire ways to build your community off of social media. There are already models that exist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like you mentioned earlier, there's Discords. There's other scenarios where there's structures so where it's like, all right, if you want to actually know who's interested in you versus just random numbers that show up and random profiles where you don't have no way to directly contact them. You know
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, there are a myriad of other ways to do that effectively.
Live streaming,
where
all
you
that.
can really connect with people. It's just, are you going to stop fucking complaining about the fact that you have to market yourself?
That's it.
It's as simple as that. Like, or just go be the 1 in 6 trillion people every 30 million years who get signed to a label. Choose one.
Yeah. And
But even when you get signed to the label,
I was just finna say.
yeah, because
even with
now,
that,
because
like,
now you can't even get signed
then
if your
gotta go
following
10
ain't up.
Man, what?
man.
Like for
If your
real.
following ain't
And
up, you
then
can't
when you
even
get
get
with them, you gotta go 10 times harder than you was even going.
Yeah.
Or they gonna take that shit.
Come on.
Yeah.
What are we talking about? Just stop.
Yeah, and again, even with the payout situation, man, with these other platforms to do the content and stuff like that, like it's getting to the point now where people are making a living off of content. Like,
Yo,
it's
I
still,
just want to say this for the record. Fuck content.
but no, it's like it's a thing you can stream and you're getting paid. Like people are making a living off of getting views and comments on their videos. Like, so you can bypass it, but you still have to do the work no matter what. You can't skip that. You can't skip it.
I don't know, because I can attest. I can attest to that. Like live streaming and stuff like that. Like some of these platforms, yeah, maybe, but stuff like TikTok and all of this stuff, like people are paying more out of their pocket than you're getting in your pocket, and for one, you have to be doing it at a consistent basis to the point where nothing else can be done. Like when I was doing like my live streaming or whatnot, like I didn't mind it, but the demand of my attention that people wanted from me was kind of like,
Yeah, that was kind of wild.
yeah, it was like really wild, and it was kind of like overwhelming after so long.
Right.
Because like I feel like I have the advantage over like other people that have just been posting stuff all the time. Like I was actually talking to these people, reading those messages, going, having to answer those questions. I'm cooking in front of these people. I'm damn near talking to these people from taking a shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm correcting my son in front of him. I'm playing with him in front of him. I'm on TikTok, sometimes I have him on camera. Sometimes where's your son? We want to see your son. Or I'll get these random freaky ass messages in my inbox and stuff like that. Just all kind of, or people seeing how well my live streams and stuff was going. I'm telling them, hey, you can make a good living off of just being yourself and creating content, or being, or you know what I'm saying, just being vulnerable to the people. Then you got the people coming. Oh, well, I got this and I got that going on. I got this ailment and I need this, and now you feeling bad because they ain't,
I think the balance though, like I think I don't know. I feel like I've seen this enough to know, like, all right. So then you have this set of people who are like, they feel like the success of social media is essentially like almost like how reckless can I be in exposing all of my life on social media, right? And then you have, that's an extreme. And then you have another extreme where it's like, it's not necessarily about how reckless or performative or shock value, right? It's just that these people are posting something every 10 minutes.
They're consistent.
Yeah.
It's quantity, right?
Yeah.
And then there's as I always say, the answer's probably somewhere in the middle, right? There is a version, right? And this is why it's important. Big shout out to all the artists who have taken the time to truly assess and understand who they are as an artist, right? Unique. First weeks I met you and actually sat with you, that was like the biggest part of our discussion, right? Which is like, who are you, right? Because this is the trick, man. This is the trick. This is the trick that I find like the best figure this out. You know what I'm saying? It's like you can create a world for you as an artist.
Yep.
That's not your world as James or
Yeah.
Ashley, right? If you are detailed enough, right, about creating the lore of I make mad beats, right? That's the trick. Like I post all kind of shit on social media, right? And people be really thinking they know James.
Yep.
No, you don't.
That's it. Yeah.
No, you don't. I'm actually quite a private man. You know what I'm saying? You know, I make mad beats, but I make mad beats has a whole world around him, a whole like lore. I've thought about this guy and who and what he is so much that I can introduce and discuss so many things.
Yep.
Right? And so that's the best of both worlds. It's the depth in content, and then when I want to turn it up, I can.
Right.
Right? Also, I want to say this too, and this is like, man, one of the greatest things I ever told some of my team. The best things you can post on the internet are things you did in real life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, go out and really do things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Go out and be really successful in real life. Right? Like, you know, like, if you're sitting there thinking about hashtags a little bit too long, you're not doing enough real stuff.
Yeah.
That's real.
For real, though.
You know what I'm saying? Like, go out and do some real stuff. You know what I'm saying? And just find that balance. But specifically, like, know the story you're trying to tell as an artist.
Yeah.
You know, like, I'll post something about the fact that I'm a father, but no one knows my style of fathering.
Right.
No one knows the discussions I have with my wife or with my
Right.
family. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
nobody knows none of that stuff because that's not, you don't need to know that about I Make Mad Beats.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you just need to know, you know, I mean, now there is Facebook where Facebook is like family and shit, so I might talk about that, you know what I'm saying, on Facebook, but on Instagram, nah, bro. Y'all just not getting to see my face.
This man about to get 1,000 friend requests on Facebook. No, but I think that's real. Like you get to decide. Like you were talking about live streaming. You don't have to live stream, like because there's so many people that's making content just on being a mom. And again, like we talking about how much time it takes, but as we know, like you do a batch. You just pick a day and be like, I bet I'm gonna pick a day, and this day is just content, and you create you a batch, and you can, with the systems now with AI and everything, you can pretty much set the time that it'll be released and all of that stuff. So like you don't have to just rely on live and be live all the time and sit in front of the camera. Like that is a way, but I feel like Mary was saying, there's so many different opportunities and different lanes that you can approach it with.
I do feel like that was the most effective, though, in my opinion,
Right.
only because it was like they were seeing me in real time.
Right.
Well, okay, so let me ask you this though, really quick. Big shout out my G-Red on the beat. Real quick though, why aren't you still doing it?
It got overwhelming, and I ran because I didn't know what I was doing when I first did it. I first started doing it because I felt alone and I needed something to do, and it was the pandemic, and you know, my son, we were just in the house, and I'm just like, I don't know what to do. I was going through a breakup. It was just a lot. So I turned to social media and ended up getting on TikTok. The homie was like, bro, you should get a TikTok, your song blowing up. I was like, bro, I don't even want no damn TikTok. And ended up getting on there, and I was like, let me just get on here and live stream and just crochet. And it
Yeah.
it blew up like really fast. And then I started seeing other people do it, and they started getting comfortable, and it just like I started feeling that, okay, now everybody's looking to me to see how they can win off of what I'm doing. Like, as soon as I did a contest, somebody else wants to come out with a contest now. And these are people that have never done these things before, according to other people. But I really tried not to like get into that. Like, it was a lot of nitpicking. I've never been in so much drama in the crochet world in my life. And that was another reason why I had to jump out of it, because it was like I wasn't ready for all of that. Yeah. All of that media stuff. I wasn't ready for it.
I think, just to be fair though, I think during the heat of the pandemic, everybody was going through that. Like, everybody was trying to figure out how to adapt, and you pull up IG and there's like 30 people on live. And so I think, just to be fair, like, everybody swung the pendulum in an extreme opposite direction, and decided to at some level begin to live their life on social media.
Crazy.
But I think the point the thing I was curious about was like, if it wasn't sustainable, was it truly effective? Right? If it was effective, then why not find a way to sustain doing it?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm saying. If it worked, why not?
It really did. I don't know. And I keep asking myself that every other couple months when I don't do it.
Yeah, and I think another thing too, as an artist, like, I know for me, I complicate. Well, I don't do it as much now, but I definitely like spent a lot of my time complicating social media and content in general, because I'm a creative, and everything I do, I want it to be creative or whatever. And I found myself at points like looking at other content creators that were similar in the same field, producers or whatever like that. But then you just think about, like, bro, there's a McDonald's next to every Burger King. There's a Wendy's next to, it's like, just do you. You don't necessarily have to look at what they're doing, how they're posting or whatever, because you're still doing your own thing. You're still making, for me, I'm a producer. I'm still making beats or whatever. Like, just the comparison of McDonald's, Burger King, they all making burgers. They just make it their way. And you just, but you just do you, man. And eventually, like, it's just being consistent in it. And that's, from what I've been seeing, that's really where the change happens. It's just being consistent. And that's with everything, though. Yeah. You got to build that muscle.
Yeah, being consistent is...
That's it.
Even with boring content.
Yeah. This content is
fun content too.
No, facts. I definitely, like, pretty soon you all will see videos of me talking about how much I hate this shit. But I'm still gonna post.
that is, and then we're gonna move on to the next topic. But I think that is, like, in my lifetime, like, I can't tell you how many people have come up to me and told me that, or assumed that I like doing something just because I'm disciplined in doing it.
That's it. That's it.
Again, like, and it'd be making me look at them like, you expect to get somewhere special just doing what you want to do?
Yeah.
That's great.
Man.
I ain't never seen that before.
Bro.
Like,
yeah.
and I'm not even saying it's impossible. I'm just saying, I ain't never seen that before.
Yeah.
I ain't never seen everything in the path between where you are and where you want to go is filled with things you're excited about. You want to do. And just find so much joy in doing it. What?
No, that's
when y'all figure out how to do that, come tell your boy, I will join you. But until then, I ain't never seen that before in my life.
Nah. I mean, shit, Unapologetic is an example of that. You are a real deal. Like, you're a full-time artist, but you have to step away at times to be CEO and handle business meetings and stuff like that. Like, it's part of it. It's part of it. You're trying to build. You can't. Yeah. That's just how it is.
I'm just right now. I'm envisioning that, like, just a path of Skittles. It's like I want to go to New York, and the whole path there is Skittles and watermelon, and every 10 miles a drumstick from Popeyes. You know what I mean? And the car, and just all this enjoyment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, real.
I would never have to pass no cop.
Man, what?
Like, I can't even imagine this is like a real thing.
Nah, exactly.
But that's how y'all be sounding. When y'all be like, wow, you actually do things you don't like to do to succeed. That's how y'all be. I'll be like, bro, am I missing something? Like, is there a way around this? Like,
nah, bro. Also,
That's
just
crazy.
salute to the people that like do view the content, and actually like comment and whatever. Because niggas like me that don't really give a fuck about this content and shit, like I ain't gonna lie, y'all help me keep uploading content, because when I know that I am putting this stuff out, and it's not just on the sake of just posting, but like people really comment and be like, yo, I relate to that or whatever, and they really do like give me just more motivation just to keep going. Like you say, someone's waiting on you to be you.
That's right. That's
and
right.
That's real.
That's right.
Absolutely.
But yeah,
That's right.
all right.
So
Next,
we
we're
got
talking about the brands and stuff like that, man. Let's talk about these genres. How you approach, like, what's the mindset of if you're typically a hip hop producer or a rapper or R&B singer, like when the opportunities come for you to do something else outside of your lane, like how do you go about that? What's your process? What's your mindset?
LJ, you start with that, bro, because I and then we gonna hop into
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But LJ, man, like, you know, there was a very specific style of beat that I heard from you
Yeah.
for like the first
Yeah.
5 or 6 years I knew you existed. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, absolutely. You were refining your path on this very pointed, very specific, approach to things. But once you diversified the artists that you work with,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
So and a big shout out to Tangela. Once I started hearing the stuff you was doing with Tangela and a few other artists that you were working with, I was like, oh damn, this nigga's all over the place. Like,
Yeah.
and then you were doing it effectively. You know what I'm saying? So like, if you could talk about that, man, like how's your journey been in like diversifying your style?
Man, I mean, honestly, it just starts at the fact that I love music. I love creating, more importantly. But for me, it's, I just love music. I love creating. I'm a sound junkie. And I will take sounds from any genre or whatever and, make it my own. But the mindset for me going into that is really, depending on, of course, artists or not, is like, do I fuck with it? I'm never on some, I need to make something that sounds like this. I need to make something that sounds like it fits this artist. It's really just on some like, yo, I heard this song, that shit was crazy. What can I make that gives off that same energy? And I find ways to go there. And in that process, it allows me to grow.
Yep.
Yeah, and I just learn. But yeah, I have fun with it. But I think when it comes down to the business side of it and being like truly efficient with it, man, you definitely have to put the work in and study a little bit. Not even a little bit, a lot. Because you're going to fail a lot of times. Trust me, a few people can attest to this. It was a point in the time where I was like, man, how the fuck do I make like neo soul type beats? And I was like, because the chords and stuff, I was like, bro, this shit is tough. Like, I felt like I could not make anything slow or anything kind of soft or intimate or whatever. Like, everything was
I remember.
heavy drums and dark. And but it was really just the fact that I was listening to a lot of music that I loved. And I was trying to figure out how can I insert myself in that genre. Yeah, and I just put the work in, man. And then I think me putting the work in allowed me to come across other creative artists that's with experimenting and trying new shit, like Tangela or Boulevard, and a few others. So yeah, that's kind of been my approach to it and how I've come this far to where I'm at, and not just on some like hip hop shit. Like, even though of course I love hip hop, I love dark music, I love samples and everything like that, but they're just finding ways and more so understanding like, nigga, you really trying to get this money.
That's it.
What you gonna do? Because
Period.
every
That's how I got it.
yeah, you really trying, man, bro. Like, you really trying to get this money, make this a living, versus trying to having to clock in. And ain't nothing wrong with having a job, whatever. But like, most artists don't want to work for no one else, for anyone else. We all want to do our own shit. I know for me, for sure. Like, I'm like, bro, fuck these jobs or whatever. But I feel like that's part of it.
Yeah.
That's part of it. If you really want these opportunities, you have to be able to, you got to stretch a little bit.
I mean, that's essentially how I got into really diversifying my style. But I do want to like, you know, unique. Like it's interesting because I think LJ and I are like just like the traditional producer engineers in this game.
Yeah.
But you're like a vocalist
It's crazy.
who, you know, and that just immediately, I think in being a vocalist, you're immediately thrown into, you know, a variety of genres. Just, you know what I'm saying? Like, because you have a voice and, you know, you might sing in church, you might sing R&B,
right.
you might like
Hear a
hear
country
something,
song.
a country song, absolutely, and just immediately use your voice, you know, in this way, you know. How did you go about learning how to create in different genres?
I mostly just go back to where I've been. Like, I go back to where my ear has been, what I've listened to from growing up. When someone says keywords like commercial or something like that, I think of every commercial I've ever heard of. And I put my mind in that lane. Or someone says, hey, let's do a heavy metal song. I fucking love Korn and all of these people, you know what I'm saying? I go binge on these genres, or sometimes I don't even have to.
Let me ask you this then. 'Cause this might be a thread underneath the thread, right? Like, a lot of people, right? Like, and I'm just being real, like, you know, especially being a black woman in a black ass city, right? Like, a lot of people, like, something would stop them from going and binging Korn, right? Like, well, let's first like try to identify like what is the thing that keeps people in a box in terms of like, okay, I have to be listening to this, because let's be honest, the beginning of creating variety is appreciating variety.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right.
And so, what keeps someone from appreciating variety?
Being stuck in a box of what they've heard all their lives. to
I
be
would say
honest.
fear. Fear of judgment. Because, I mean, think about it. Growing up in the hood, you know, if any dude, and one of those dudes just driving around listening to no Justin Timberlake or anything like that, like, nigga, what? Like, you, like, it was
I know a couple niggas.
But
in
what
the
I'm saying
hood
is, like,
just-
growing up, like, niggas used, a lot of times that's you about to get jumped type shit. Like, it's terrible when you think about it overall, but, like, that was the thing. Like, guys listen to R&B music or whatever, unless you was Luther himself, like, ain't nobody, what? You in the hood listening to?
I think, you know what's
I'm
funny?
finna say,
You know what's funny is that, like, and I want to be clear about something too, man. Like, if there's one thing I've learned is like, you know, there are many versions of the hood. You know what I'm saying?
Facts, yeah, facts.
So like, I want to add some nuance to these statements. You know what I'm saying? Because there are people who swore they grew up in the hood, and then I be telling them about where I lived, and then they don't feel like they grew up in the hood.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I want to add some nuance to it. Like, there is a version of the hood where happiness or displaying happiness can work against you.
That's right.
Yep.
And it is in those places that something like playing happy music, dance music, something you would wiggle your hips to, is not a good look.
Especially as a guy. Like,
Absolutely.
what?
Unless, now this is the one caveat to where, this is kind of allowed, is if it's like a classic.
Yeah.
Right? So you can roll, like, I'm not rolling through the hood. I'm not rolling through the hood playing some modern day R&B, you know what I'm saying, whatever. But if I was playing Al Green or something,
Right.
Niggas would be,
on some family reunion,
that's different. You know what I'm saying?
That's what,
because like the original gangsters, that's what they was listening to.
Yeah.
It's just a different perception on it. But like
That's right.
rolling through and trying to play, like nobody's rolling through the hood like playing Trey Songz and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, that's real. That's real. Like,
and I want to be clear, not this version of the hood.
Right? Yeah. Not this. Yeah.
Right. All, hey, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Nah, dog, like, and even the guys I'm talking about, Al Green, they were singing about struggle.
Yes.
They were singing about like tough. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hard time.
You know what I heard in the hood a lot when I was growing up? Curtis Mayfield.
Yes.
Facts, yep.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yep.
that was different.
Yes.
You know, and so I just want to make sure that we're not just saying, because I'm gonna be clear, I'm not just saying where a whole bunch of black folks live.
Right.
No.
Nah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like
Right.
it's different. There's a different version of this experience. And you know, I think, and I agree. I do think that a lot of times it is like, and for me, it was a self-preservation thing. Like,
Mm-hmm.
if I were to listen to this stuff, I had to do it in my headphones.
Yeah.
Secretly.
Yeah.
I couldn't just be out here.
Man, and hope nobody be like, hey, what you listening
Exactly,
to?
bro.
Because then you
That's facts, bro.
gotta try to,
Man.
nigga.
I'm saying which volume of DJ Paul every time. even
Right.
if I'm not listening to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know.
Yeah.
But it's, you know, it's tough. There are certain places where it's harder to have a varying palette. You know what I'm saying? Like that can be, it's not just, oh, I'm just not interested in other things. No, like it can be a threat to you
Nah,
Yeah.
facts.
Yeah.
to be interested in a variety of things.
Niggas,
right.
they think you
That's
you,
right.
you soft. You,
I felt
you know,
that so
you push
many
over.
times
And it's,
when I was
Absolutely.
producing out there in South Memphis or whatnot. All they wanted was trap. I'm like, well, I want to produce some orchestra music or something like Beethoven, and they like, nah, niggas ain't listening to that. Nah, y'all niggas ain't listening to that.
I ain't gonna lie, like the biggest flex once I got old enough was saying that I'm a producer. Like if anybody jump in the whip, they hear some whatever. If it's not some hardcore shit, they're like, bro, what the fuck? I'm like, nigga, I'm a producer. I gotta be aware of what's going
Yeah,
on. But that was
yeah.
definitely like an excuse at certain points versus being like, nah, nigga, this is what I listen to. This is what I
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
Like now, anybody jump in the car, you hear Hiatus Coyote, whatever. I'm like, yeah, nigga, this shit cold.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm no longer on some like, well, I'm a producer. I gotta keep my ear to the street and for opportunities. It's like, nah. But there was definitely a moment growing up. He was like,
Awesome, Mike, what up?
like, nah, bro, I'm, oh man, this is my mama's CD, or so, something like that, like, cause you really had to move in a way. Like you said, separate preservation. You had to protect yourself out here, man, because folks would try you.
Man.
And
Awesome,
that's-
Michael, what up? Sonny says, for me, it's listening to that style that I want to make, doing the foundation of the genre first, then adding what I do on top of it. Working with LJ helped me find that flow. We just love music and create. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think, well, let me just say this too, though. Like, I've never made a style of music that I also didn't like.
Yeah.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, I just, like, you have to find something you appreciate in it. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, like for me, once I find what I appreciate in it, right? Mm-hmm. Even with pop music, I mean, as a kid, like, if it wasn't the king of pop, I wasn't really on pop
Right,
like
right.
that. You know what I'm saying? I was much more on some soul, jazz, you know what I'm saying, and hip hop vibes. But, watching the run, honestly, just go back to Justin Timberlake. Watching the run that Timberland had with pop, right?
Yeah.
And Nelly Furtado, that
I was just
you know
finna say
what I'm
Nelly.
saying?
Yeah, Nelly turned it up.
Yeah, like that whole thing, you know
She
what I'm saying?
did.
And then where Rihanna went, you know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Like with pop. It just like, it opened the doors to like, oh no, there are creative ways to do this.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That still satisfy like the sentiments that I love.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And then that's when I really got into it, and then once you finally get into it, that's when you can kind of go back.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm going back in time. Now I'm listening to pop music that came out in the 90s and the
Yeah,
80s and the
yeah.
70s. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, okay, now this has actually been dope for a while.
Exactly,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I just wasn't up on it. I didn't know how to appreciate it, but now
Yeah.
that I do,
Yeah.
right, I can go back and just be like, I can reverse or appreciate it.
Right.
That's how I am. Like I appreciate good music, and I binge on good music. Like no matter the genre, I think that's why it's so easy for me to like step in any genre, and it's easy. I think my I guess weak spot a little bit is, and people would very much disagree, but my writing.
Your weak spot is your writing?
Not. That's what I just said. People would
He's like,
disagree.
what?
But what I'm saying is,
Insane people would disagree with an insane comment.
Like what?
So what I mean is, and maybe this is me being hard on myself.
I
I
turn the camera on Nikito.
Right, we all like
Yeah,
same face. Like,
Yeah.
what?
no, but
Okay, we're gonna let you speak. My bad.
yeah, like I feel like my writing could be a lot more in depth.
Okay.
But I do also feel like the way I write is the way I am in real life. Like I was speaking to Mad when we were listening to one of Nubia's songs. I was like, I love how when she writes, like her writing explains exactly who she is. Like her personality, you know, her personality is exactly what she writes. Okay, Nikita, damn. Like,
She do the same, right? Yeah, okay.
Austin Michael says, "Get out of here, my dog. Get out of here, dog." Yeah.
No, because your writing is very.
Hold on. I wanna. Okay, I got my jokes out the way. Okay, so let me just let me get the camera right quick. I have witnessed the genius of Unique so many times that it is hard for me to imagine that Unique is like, yo, I'm not really with it with the writing like that. That sounds like an insane comment to me. I'm gonna be honest with you. But with that being said, though, right? With that being said, I can't tell you how many times I was like, yo, I gotta get better at this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And people around me be like, what the fuck?
Same. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And I know, okay, yeah, these people appreciate. I know that they're showing love. I also know that they're objectively might enjoy this thing that I've just done. You know what I'm saying? But they don't know where I'm aiming.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's
the
it.
thing, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So with that being said, yes, I got in my quick little jokes about whether or not I thought that was a sane or insane comment. It is who and what I am. But I do want to hear you out more to understand, like, what is the taste element that you feel like is missing? Because I believe you.
I want to tell like stories like more mysteriously. Like I feel like everything is just plain as day, which is okay. But I would like to be a lot more mysterious. Like I feel like I'm too like open. Like I'm more closed off in person than I am in my music.
But if you're saying you want to find a more creative way to express these things.
No, I can be creative with it. It's just I want to be. I don't know how to. I don't know. I feel like I don't know how to do it. Like all the time. Like it'll take me a minute, but then it goes back into the whole thing of, well, maybe I'm just being too hard on myself. Like not every song deserves an Oscar type vibe or whatnot. But I look to bring that. Like I look to bring that. Like niggas got me fucked up on a track every time. You know what I'm saying? Like for real.
I want to say this though. Like I'm gonna say this, and this is something I don't think I've ever said publicly, but I think this almost every day of my life. I do think 9 times out of 10, when people say you're being too hard on yourself, I don't listen to them. And the reason why is because I know that I am instinctually and at a default of reaching for a level of excellence that is rare.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Right? And so the sheer definition of that means that people are not going to understand what I'm aiming at.
Yep.
And so for you to tell me what is good and not good, or what is great and what is not great, I can appreciate that you're doing that. I can appreciate your appreciation. But if I let other people's idea of excellence define mine, I
Right.
would not be here today.
Right.
That's real.
And so I tend to lean on my own. So when I feel like how Unique is explaining right now, right? When I feel like that, you know, I give it credence. You know what I'm saying? And I I give it, shout out Unique. She said, Unique, I low key want to shake you. You know what I'm saying? Damn, that's crazy.
No,
You know what I'm saying? No, but I feel you because, like, you know what you're aiming at.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know when you did it and when you didn't do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know that sometimes you do it and sometimes you don't.
Yep.
And you know that sometimes, the way I say it all the time, people can say, man, what an amazing picture of an elephant. And people will love your picture of an elephant. but you know you were trying to draw a horse.
Yeah.
Shit. Yeah.
And people gonna be like, look at how talented you are. Look at this elephant. It's crazy.
He gonna be like, nigga.
Yeah. And you're gonna be like,
Appreciate it.
yeah. But you knew you was trying to draw a horse.
Bro,
And now
that's a fat ass horse.
That's an extreme example. But
Yeah, I got you.
that's an extreme example. But like sometimes it's like, okay, you were trying to draw a zebra and you drew a regular horse. Sometimes it's like you were trying to draw a Doberman and you drew a pit bull, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So like you know the nuanced details of where you were aiming
Yeah.
versus where you shot.
Right,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
right.
Yeah.
And that's where you gotta let people live. You gotta let people live in like, nah. If they feel like they didn't do good enough, maybe they didn't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like maybe they still reaching. You gotta let them, because a part of them getting to that place is feeling the discomfort of not shooting what you
Yeah.
said you was gonna shoot.
Yeah.
That's real.
Yeah.
I hate
Yeah.
like
Man.
I had to learn that and just accept the compliments as they come because I hate trying to explain to people like, yeah, this is cool, but this is nowhere near
I can't accept
what
compliments.
what I was shooting for. Like you said, like especially with the music, the engineering and shit, like people like, bro, that project was fire. But I'm thinking like, man, that shit don't sound nowhere near like the top of where I'm shooting for. But you have to be okay and be like, okay, you don't understand where I'm going. Thank
Like
you.
I'm just now getting to the point where I feel like it's okay for me to like take a compliment. Like most of the time, I'll be like, oh, okay, thank you, and
Yeah.
I
Okay,
was-
so
yeah.
we got some more comments. Nubia said, you said it, you right exactly as you are. And it's special because that's you.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I appreciate
Bounce God says that's wild. You know what I'm saying? He said he understands. Marie says, ha ha ha, elephant horse. It's the truth. It's the truth. And that's the thing is like, you know, us as a society, we're always trying to rid ourselves of like these like not so feel good emotions, as if they don't play an extreme role
Bro.
in making you great.
That's
Like,
facts.
you know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, it's about balance. It's not about getting that shit off the table. It's about knowing what parts of it need to be on the table and what don't.
That's right.
No, you're not trash. But did you shoot and aim at something and then did you hit it? No, you didn't.
Right. Yeah.
No, you didn't. You know what I'm saying? And only you know that detail.
That's
and
right.
even when it comes to this comment right here, where it's like you are, you know, like whatever you created, that's you. You know what I'm saying? But even you can get better
Yeah.
at illustrating you.
What- exactly. That's
You know
it.
what I'm saying? That's the
Yeah.
thing. That's where I am at. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like I'll be playing stuff for people and be like, yeah, man, blah, blah, blah. And I'll be sitting there thinking like, man,
Nah.
you don't hear how
Man.
much better I am at what I just did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I can hear it
Yeah.
incrementally. Like, I can hear, I've been trying to play chords like this for years.
This
you know
nigga's
what I'm saying?
going crazy
And
with
the
the
previous
chords.
stuff I made was me. But it was me in 1080p.
Yeah.
This is 4K now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, now you're seeing me in a detail I have always wanted you to see me. And I'm headed towards 8K. Watch me go, nigga.
That's it.
And it's never because I was sitting there thinking, oh, I did my job, I'm great. No, it's because I knew you were seeing 1080p and I'm aiming at 4K.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
And I think that's important, like to not get comfortable in those compliments, because people
Absolutely.
definitely would be like, "Nah, bro, you great,
I
you're
literally
doing this."
can't get comfortable in it because I'm always like, you know, I'm always overthinking. But no, I really do. Like, I really can't get comfortable with those comments. I can't.
Well, I think that's the difference from, and that's something I had to learn with all the things that I was dealing with lately that me and you talked about. Like, just niggas levels of greatness is different. What some people deem as great, to them is great, but to you like, nah, bro, this is nowhere near
trash.
great. Yeah, exactly. To you, it could be trash, but to them, they
Yeah.
nah. But
No, he not. And you
yeah, no, I get what you're saying. Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, I've definitely been in like meetings where we're talking about certain events, and I'm like, bro, that shit was whack. But to them, it was great.
Yeah.
And to the point, I had to come to terms with like, yo, my levels of detail for greatness is different than this, because it got to a point where I felt like I was like the party pooper nigga. Like, niggas always they excited, and I'm like, nah, bro, that's
Like,
nowhere
what are we
near where we're trying
excited?
to go
Man,
for. But
for real.
for them, that was their level of greatness, and you got to be okay with that, and move
What's the
around.
key word in that?
Dino
Levels.
Star Seed says, y'all are amazing. Take these compliments, B. Nah, I get it.
Yeah.
She was just trying to be,
I appreciate you trying. You tried. You really did.
But yeah, it's
she did.
it's different, man. You just have to understand where people are and let them be who they're gonna be. And again, you stay focused on what you're trying to accomplish and just keep shooting for that.
Marie says, when you receive that, those uncomfortable things play a significant role. It changes the game.
That's
exactly.
right. That's right.
Exactly.
That's
like
right.
that's no
That's
one. No one is happy 100% of the time, and that's how they became great.
That's
like,
right.
Man.
Again, if I'm wrong, tell me. Tell me.
Come
me
help
right
us
now.
out.
Show me
Man, facts. 'Cause, yeah.
We need some help.
No, bro. Like it's a lot of frustration and becoming excellent and becoming great.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
And you have to accept that frustration is fuel. You can't reject it.
Yeah.
You know.
I didn't want to
say all
accept
the
it at
time, like,
first.
you know, if positivity is the only thing you can make fuel, good luck out here, man. Because the greatest of us all will learn how to take bullets and make it fuel. We'll learn how to take heat and make it fuel. If the only thing you can take to push you on your journey is somebody patting you on your back, I don't think you're going too far.
Yeah, facts. Facts. Facts.
And again, as always, objectively, quantifiably, if what I'm saying is wrong, show me the example. I'll be here waiting. Y'all can hit me up, man. I make madbeats at Gmail. Hit me up, you know what I'm saying? Or find me in my app. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
period.
Out, let's go.
Period.
As always. We gotta look, man. There's optimism and then there's realism.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right.
A lot of them ain't. Yeah.
That's
A lot
right.
of them, so a lot of them comfortable where they at, man. And
I'm straight.
I ain't gonna get into that. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good, man.
Straight. We got one more topic?
Yeah, man. What time is it? What time we at? Where we at?
It's like 6 o'clock, bro.
God damn.
Shout out to y'all. Y'all been rocking with me.
Hey, no, but I mean, going back to, I guess we just gonna end up finishing with this topic, but going back to it, like, both of y'all are into, doing jingles and shit like that. So, like, how, and it's very different than what you on your own, what you would create. So, like, what's the process?
All right, let me say this first and foremost, just to get this out the way. I never really been a fan of the word jingle, you feel me? Like, that's a wild
It sounds so
word to me.
Christmassy.
I'm good, you know what I mean? Anyway, I'm good, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so my journey into versatility was simply first appreciating, but like LJ said, man, that's where the money came. You know what I'm saying? Like, once I got tapped to make music for commercials and TV and blah, 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 they don't just want one kind of beat.
Yeah.
They want a whole variety of beats and styles, you know what I'm saying? And so I'm sitting there thinking like, bruh, I need to learn how to make a whole bunch of stuff, because if I get that call and somebody's like, yo, we got 30 G's for you to do this, and I'm just like, I don't know how to do that. Nah, I better know how to do that.
Man,
Man,
that's it.
what? Better learn that day.
You will never get that call again.
Literally though.
No, that's
Literally.
real. It's the industry talks. And you like a lot of times, people be acting like, people love saying shit like, what's for you is for you. Nah, man. You like lose the opportunity and that be it, bro. That be it. Like, or you could have took that opportunity and your life changed. Like, man, I'm sorry, I don't know where y'all come from, but I've seen plenty of people have a chance, not do what they're supposed to do in that chance, and that was
it. Yep.
That was it.
I've seen it too many times. I don't know what happy life y'all living. But y'all, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen it way too many times to just be out here thinking like, no, opportunities come plentiful for everyone. No, they don't.
No, they don't.
Not at all. You know what I'm saying? And so for me, it's like, nah, I better be fucking ready. And so I got myself ready, and I was able to do anything. You know what I'm saying? And you just study, man. You study. You surround yourself with amazing musicians. You talk to them. You figure out what they were thinking when they made this, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You know what I'm saying? And you listen to the specifics of it. You know what I'm saying? You try to be a good listener. You know what I'm saying? And be observant.
Yes.
And then you sit down and you have fun. You try to make it.
That's it.
You reach out to some other people who down to try to make some interesting things. I mean, full disclosure, we don't have no NDA on this, so I can talk about it. The state of Tennessee essentially reached out to us to make jingles, to get people to come out and vote this November. You know what I'm saying? And so we had to make two of them. We had to make one that could play on either K97 or some pop.
107.5.
Yeah, one of these joints. And then we had to make another that would fit on maybe country radio.
88.3.
Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? And like, I had to know how all the differences, not just the difference in terms of like,
That's right.
Oh, this has a guitar in it, and this
Right,
one doesn't.
right,
Like,
right.
I got to know how are these recorded.
That's right.
How are those vocals treated? You know what I'm saying? I got to know like, okay, what is success in this genre, right? What is 30 to 45 seconds of success in this genre? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, what does layering look like, right? Is this a genre where there's likely to have three, you know, piece harmonies, or is this a one where it's like, nah, you need a singular vocal and simplicity, you know what I'm saying? All the way down to the mix, all the way down to the master. You know, the dynamics of the low end are dramatically different in both of the things I just discussed, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just got to know all of this stuff, because I want these checks.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And then I want these people to be like, yo, we can go to Unapologetic for anything.
Anything.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, absolutely. So, yeah. So it pays for me to have done my previous homework. Like, they didn't hit me up with this, and I was like, shit, let me go watch
Right.
YouTube videos. No, I've been here before.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I do this. You know what I'm saying? So
Facts.
it's not a train wreck. It's actually pretty fun.
Yeah.
And we've been knocking these out pretty swiftly too. Unique.
Crazy.
How you been feeling about it?
It's I love it for the simple fact that it's fun, and it's stuff that I do at home with my son anyway. I can make a song out of anything. Like, take grilled cheese and, you know, make a song about grilled cheese. Like, is nothing. But I get frustrated when I can't, like, be me. Like, I have to be somebody else. But I like that because it gets me out of my own self-character and allows me to step into a uncomfortable but comfortable territory, because I don't like not using vibrato. I don't like not using lazy runs.
Also, you don't like not using your kind of vibrato.
Exactly.
These different genres.
Yeah.
have
It
different
is very
approaches to
different.
vibrato.
Very
different.
different.
Absolutely. Like church vibrato, R&B vibrato.
Very
those are all
different.
Country.
different
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. But like, I'm thankful that I grew up around all kinds of cultures, and that I was fascinated by all kinds of cultures, and commercials and all those jingles, wherever you want to call it. I don't know. Niggas would say I'm being cocky, but it comes natural to me. It genuinely does. Like, it genuinely does. I don't really have to think about too much about it. It doesn't take much to go into it. I guess I'm more so thinking too much in the recording process. Like, oh, I have to sound straight like this. Oh yeah. Even that. Oh yeah is not allowed. Like, at all. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh,
yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like, with the,
Auto-tune, I'm straightening that up.
Man, yeah, we don't need none of that. We gonna kill all them notes.
bro.
I'm like, yo, you know what? I'm gonna go and sing like that. We gonna fix that in
On the post, yeah.
Yo, so it's a challenge for me, but I welcome any challenge, and it's helped me so much. Not only with like being able to do other ones, but it's actually kind of helped me tune up my vocals in my songs that I do for myself. You know what I'm saying? Like in pop music or stuff like that, like you have to drop to the note immediately. Like in R&B and stuff like that, you can sway your way on down. You know what I'm saying? You can dip a little bit even if you want to, but like I do like the discipline that it's like creating for me to like get better with my vocals. So I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I feel that. I like whenever I gotta slide over into another genre or just another style, like I don't be wanting to spend too much time there. I think that's
Yeah,
That's it.
big
That's
facts.
it. Yeah.
Niggas get locked in and be like, what the fuck?
I ain't trying to be on this for weeks. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, man, I need to go.
the
I'm
time.
gonna sneak in. It's gonna be late at night. I'm gonna sneak in a quick boom bap.
Man, you got to. You got that separation.
Some sort of violence.
Get back to yourself, you know?
Get back to what it is. You know what I'm saying? But like, when we did that first version of the Aaron James jet.
Bro.
Use
Aaron
your
James
voice.
did the country. Big shout out Aaron James.
Period.
One of the GOAT writers out
Man.
there.
Come on.
Killing.
Oh man, like when we did that first joint, and then I put like the keys, the strings, the drums on it, did some of the bass, you know what I'm saying?
So triumphant.
I was like, again, while this is not something I'm just gonna be listening to down the street, I'm sitting there listening like, bro, I'm really in this job, bro.
You do this shit. Yeah, that's it. You do this.
I'm really like, bro, niggas might think I really do. You know what I'm saying? Like, people might think I'm out here in Nashville. You know what I'm saying? At the Grand Ole Opry, chilling with Dolly Parton. Like,
Right.
I'm slick out here, bro.
With the spoons and shit.
And
So
Jones and shit.
I enjoy being in the room looking like I be in that room.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I enjoy that. Whatever I've learned over all these years allows me to immediately be like, oh, I know how to fit into that room.
That's it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yep.
saying?
Yeah.
Like, I know
Yeah.
how to do that. You know. Now again, I ain't trying to stay in that room. I'm trying to get back
Exactly.
to my room.
You know what I'm saying?
But I definitely enjoy the occasional visit. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
yeah.
We appreciate the invitation.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely. I also appreciate the check. from
Come on,
said
come
invitation.
on.
Facts.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Shit about a Honda.
I don't know what's going on.
What?
Civic.
Yeah. I think that's the end of our 3 topics.
Yeah, we'll say the other one. Yeah.
Period.
One more time.
Focus right is the right way to go.
Focus wrong in sin.
I just had to do it.
Sacrilegious. Right? You don't do it. Again,
I'm just playing, y'all. Don't get that
it's
bullshit. I'm
red
trying to upgrade
because of the
too.
devil. You know what I'm saying? So please, let's not do that to each other and to ourselves. This has been another episode of Type B, the producer podcast. Man, one more time, go ahead and get it. It's in your app store. Go ahead and get the Unapologetic World app. It's available for iOS and Android devices. My name is I Make Mad Beats, and my cast behind me is.
LJ1S.
Unique, period.
And this has been another episode of, what's the name of our podcast?
Damn. Type beat.
All right,
type
Type Beat.
shit. You feel me? A producer podcast.
Indeed. We're live from outer space, an unapologetic studio. Hey, stay dangerous, stay safe, do both or do neither. Peace.
Bitch, are you jealous?
Oh shit. Here we go again.